I hate paper towels. Welcome to Grumble Goat. I'm Veronique Hurley. This is a show about all the small things that drive Matt insane. This week, it's my grumble. Let's grumble. But not really. I actually don't mind paper towels because sometimes you need a paper towel. I prefer to use a cloth napkin in the kitchen. However, there's something very irritating about using a cloth napkin because even when you pick up something super disgusting in your kitchen, then you have this like wet, semi-dirty cloth. Well, what do you do with that? You put it in the hamper, but then it just like festers because it's wet. So you're in the kitchen, you're doing things, right? Your oven is going and you spill something and you're like, ooh, wait a minute. It's like, when is the appropriate time to use a paper towel? Question. Very good question. Okay. There are some situations that are so disgusting that you need a paper towel for, like cat vomit. I don't really want to use my reusable cloths. I'm just waking up in the morning. The cats want their food, so I'm stumbling into the kitchen to get their cat treats for the morning, and I see vomit on the floor. And I'm like, oh, okay, God, we've got to get the vomit up. I'm not going to use a cloth napkin, which is what I would normally use. I go for the paper towel because it's a little dried, right? It's the next day. It's the morning after. You can just grab a paper towel and it'll rip, right? Well, that's the thing. That's the thing that we have an issue with. Supposedly, it'll rip all the way down so you have a complete square. On the commercials, it's always a complete square. In real life, it's never a complete square, okay? Even when it's a complete square, it's never a complete square, right? So you go to tear the paper towel cloth, and there's a little tiny piece left. You know what I'm talking about. Because it happens to you too. There's a piece that stays. It's like a little piece of a tail. It looks like a dragon tail. Now I know what you're thinking. You need to follow through the paper towel. You need to follow through the tear of the paper towel to get the complete square. What? You shouldn't have to delicately tear. That is absolutely ridiculous. I hate that little tiny piece of the paper towel that doesn't tear off the paper towel. When you tear it off the paper towel, what do you do with that sliver? There's nothing you can pick up with the sliver. And then you don't have a perfect square. And that's the grumble.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
What?
Grumble, 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 grumble. What's got your goat?
For the latter half of the show, we'll bring in my lesser half, Matt, for a pretentious look and a segment we call
What's got your goat?
Well, welcome to Grumble Goat. We are back from our hiatus.
Back from our hiatus.
We are celebrating a very special someone today.
Who are we celebrating today?
Happy birthday, Matt.
Oh my gosh, you remember.
Oh my, did I remember? I planned quite the celebration.
It's been we had a fantastic meal.
Yeah.
Fantastic wine, fantastic whiskey.
Yeah.
Champagne.
Yes.
Been fabulous. Gifts.
Gifts, all the gifts. How was your birthday surprise? Which didn't happen today. It happened
a week ago.
Yeah.
And that's what set the Grumble Goat schedule back a little bit. But I had a wonderful birthday surprise. I had some friends from out of town, my best friend from out of town. And we hit the town.
We hit the town.
Running.
We went to the edge.
90% maskless. We were wandering around town maskless for the first time in a long time.
Wasn't that incredible? Wasn't it nice just to walk down the street without a mask on your face?
You know, you go into a restaurant, you go into a shop, you go into a bodega, you put the mask back on.
Put the mask on. You be respectful for the people that are in closed spaces.
But Dr. Fauci says if you're vaccinated, take your mask off.
That's
Let's
right.
do it.
Dr. Fauci said, yes. When I go on the subway, obviously I'm putting my mask on. But just walking around, it's just been so lovely.
It's liberating. We're coming out the other side of it. It's wonderful.
Coming out the other side.
Celebrating with a birthday. Everything's
Celebrating
great.
with a birthday.
And we're back in the Grumble Goat studio.
Yes, we're back in the studio. And what's super fun about today is a lot of cooking and planning went into today.
You know what's super exciting about today?
What?
Matt shaved his beard off.
Oh my gosh.
It's gone. Now, I still have the sultry voice, but the super masculine beard is gone.
And I still wanted him to put the kilt on next time.
That was never in the
I never told him.
That was never in the card.
Whoops. Whoopsies.
I had to work a little bit today.
He did. So
work is picking back up. So I'm back out there in the front lines.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm back there. So I was up in Wave Hill in the Bronx today.
And today what was exciting is that you were doing tastings. So that means that people are planning party.
Yeah, if people are tasting things, people are getting an appetite for parties.
And when you're in the kitchen, right? So you could spill something in the kitchen.
One of the first things I did was I was cutting a lime and like half of it fell on the floor, and I just left it on the floor.
What?
When you're working in a busy kitchen, you don't pick up things sort of as you go. There's chaos that happens. You spread out. There's
you make a mess.
Chaos of throwing things about to make it fancy in the room, but in the kitchen, it's chaos.
But I really feel like a lime on the floor is dangerous. Have you ever slipped on a lime before?
Oh, you're thinking of banana peel.
Well, no, I'm thinking of a banana peel is the same thing as a lime wedge on the floor.
Let me tell you what happened. I would say I have years of experience cutting bar fruit.
Okay.
And what happened was I needed to cut some bar fruit. We just had a couple drinks to make for the guests.
Sure.
So I had to go to the kitchen and ask, like I'm in the chef's way and I'm like, can I get a lime? And he's like, here's a lime. He was like, how are you going to cut that? I was like, I was going to take one of those knives off the wall. And he was like, no, I mean like how? And I realized he was offering to cut it for me. And I was like, all right, cut it in half and then cut it in half again. And he looked at me with this look, and I'm like, I could have said that better. And he just steps back, throws his knife down. It's like, here. So then I just take it, and like, I've cut limes.
Hilarious.
For more than 10 years.
Yes.
As a bartender. This is one of our executive chefs.
Yes.
Standing over my shoulder, looking down at the cutting board, and like, all of a sudden, I cut the lime in half of it falls off the table. I'm like, and he's like, don't quit your day job.
Oh my gosh, it's been too long. You have been in quarantine too long.
I've never been nervous cutting garnishes before, but I was nervous in the moment. And so like half the lime just fell on the floor.
That's amazing. It
was so embarrassing.
Okay, so what I want to get to though is cleaning up in the kitchen. What is your preferred quicker picker-upper?
Quicker picker-upper?
Yes.
Well, that's your go-to
quicker picker-upper.
That's a specific reference.
It is, but what is your quick picker-upper?
When you say quick picker-upper, I think Bounty paper towels.
Quick picker-upper.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. I did have an audition for that voiceover.
You're right, you did, and I think you did a fantastic job.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper.
That's it. I love it. It's so good.
I had that audition.
You didn't book it, but
I keep seeing that commercial and I'm like, that would have been bank. That would have been money.
I know. Yeah. Isn't that the thing?
But no, in the company I work for, every event they send Sandy wipes and they send us a tub of 1,000 of them. And we will go through multiple tubs of that. So we go through more than 1,000.
Even in the restaurant before COVID, we were inching towards our health code inspection. So they wanted to clear all of the rags and just use Sandy wipes. So just use alcohol wipes.
You weren't allowed to have rags.
No, they took away the rags. We're going to Sandy wipe every table.
Okay.
Very wasteful.
One thing I like about the catered events is they will send napkins that used to be napkins, but there's some stain on them. So they dye them purple.
What?
And so there's just a bin of rags that are all dyed purple.
Is that what those are?
Yeah. And like, the kitchen will be built in a tent outside of a field.
And you're like mixing a salad in a giant plastic bin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you wipe things up with these purple rags.
And then they also send paper towels.
They do. But the thing is with the paper towels is they usually only send one roll.
I feel like that's just like part of our evolution as people right now, that we still go for the paper towels instead of a rag.
I don't go for the paper towels.
Oh, you don't? What do you go for?
The Sandy wipes.
Now, in a Sandy wipe, there is a little edge, right? They're cut into squares.
Yeah.
So that when you pull them out, it just naturally separates. So you have a complete square, right?
Yeah.
Is that nice? Like when you wipe the table or down, that you have a complete square. There are some things that happen in this house that you got to use a paper towel for.
No, the cats vomit a lot. That's for sure. The cats vomit everywhere.
I was going to talk about that. Cat vomit.
Yeah.
We have a lot of cat vomit in this house because of our cats.
Yeah.
There
are two cats.
There are two cats
that create, like, we could run a factory, a cat vomit factory.
Oh, what a wonderful reusable thing that we could use.
Oh, yeah. People love buying cat vomit.
Yeah. How could we reuse cat vomit?
I don't know what the storage procedure is for keeping cat vomit fresh, but I don't think it's a feasible.
It dries pretty quickly.
And that's why we keep paper towels in this house.
Yes. So we have paper towels. So what happens when you go for the paper towel?
Well, okay. I try not to go for the paper towel.
Of course.
Paper towel is the last choice
The last
for me.
resort.
Yeah.
It's not eco-friendly. We can't use paper towels.
If you go, oh, it's a waste of a tree. But it is, though.
It is,
And,
though.
like-
What happens when you go for the paper towel?
What happens when I go for the paper towel?
Yes, when you go and rip it off the thing.
Sure.
Roll.
All right. Well, first of all, I go through the psychological torment of being like, okay,
I'm going to use paper towel now.
this is paper towel worthy. I'm going to rip a leaf off a tree right now and put a little bit of tree into the garbage.
What a devastating realization.
And so I'll rip off the piece of paper towel, ripping a little bit of my soul.
How
rip
many
that piece of my
trees?
soul apart because I have to clean up the cat vomit.
How many trees do we think are in one sheet?
Oh, there's 6 or 7 trees in the sheet. Yeah.
Really?
No.
That much?
No.
Oh, okay. But does it rip the square in half?
It's
Is it-
rectangle, right?
Sure, it's a rectangle.
Yeah, rip the rectangle. You're talking about the tail it leaves behind.
I'm talking about the little alligator tail.
It does do that. You rip the paper towel and it's an alligator tail.
What are you gonna use that little tail for?
Well,
And when you use a paper towel, you want a full 5-hander there. You want all 5 fingers on that paper towel, but with the vomit, I do like to let it dry a little so you can just peel it off the floor. But if it's wet,
I will vouch for this. Veronique does like to let vomit just sit there on the floor.
let it
Let
dry.
it sit there as long
We'll
as it
scrape
takes.
it off the wood later. Oh my gosh, step over it.
No, so the tail of the paper towel just, in my mind, just becomes a piece of the next paper towel.
How?
You just rip off the next piece. And
How do you use the tail from the previous sheet? So remember when we were in quarantine and we thought the end of the world was happening?
That's it, like ancient history.
I know, it's really hard to remember, but we saw 99 cents paper towels and we were like, oh, this is a no-brainer. We never use paper towels.
Mhm.
Well, I know why they are 99 cents.
Yeah, because they turn into confetti.
They turn into toilet paper.
Did you use it?
No, I wouldn't flush that. I know I wouldn't do that. That's not nice. I want to go back in time here.
Okay.
What was the first rag?
I feel like there weren't rags. I feel like what it all began with was dirt floors. And the
Like
earth
a mud
The
floor?
earth just took it back.
Oh, no, you can't do that. You can't just have a compost in your house.
If you spill something on the floor, it's like, well, that's fine because it'll just go down.
Well, no, then you have to have a dog.
I feel like the first rag must have been a dog.
It's fur or it's mouth.
No, it's mouth, like a living dog.
Oh, a living dog is a rag. It's the modern day vacuum
Dogs
cleaner.
will also eat cat vomit off the floor.
Ew, they will. And some dogs will eat cat poop, which is really gross.
Yeah, so dogs are the original vacuum cleaner.
Or
It's like a
broom.
wet, dry vac.
When did they realize that paper could absorb water?
I'm pretty sure there was hundreds of years of monks and monasteries trying to figure out how not to get paper wet because
Oh
they were
my
very aware of how damaging water was to paper.
But you know what? It took that one idiot to say paper is actually the most absorbent thing.
Paper is the most absorbent material? Nobody would ever say that.
We were talking about people.
Obviously, you've never left
were
a mattress out in the rain.
No,
Do you think in the Roman Empire they just used their togas to clean things up?
yeah, I definitely do. But not with the nice togas. I think there are a certain class of people that were like, I'm not cleaning any of that up with my toga. So I don't think that they would use their dresses for cleanup. I think they would have rags. How do you wipe something up?
Do you ever just
Question
use your
mark.
sock?
You
sometimes-
know what?
if there's,
okay, I have used my sock before.
Yeah, exactly.
I have
If
used
there's
my
a
sock
wet spot on
before.
the kitchen floor, sometimes I'll just wipe it up with the sock I'm wearing, like with my foot, and I'll just walk around the house with
All
my
the
foot.
cloths we have in the cabinet, you're like, I'm going to take my sock off and use this.
Oh no, I'm not talking about taking it off.
Oh my gosh, you step in it?
Well, yeah, just dab it up with the toe.
Not
Not vomit, but like a little bit of water. Yeah, sure. Should I grab the paper towels?
No, I didn't vomit. This has been a bonus episode of Grumble Goat.
Thanks for listening.
I'm Veronique Hurley.
I'm Matt Labodka. Please subscribe.
You hate when people say, please subscribe.
Grumble, 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 grumble. And he's like, don't quit your day job.